So hello everyone, welcome to this presentation. My name is Chris Corrigan. I'm the subject lead for music in the School of Arts, English and Languages, and this presentation will focus on our BA in Music Performance at Queen's. So I'd like to start with a few brief words about Queen's as an institution in general. Queen's is a member of the Russell Group of universities. These are 24 of the research-intensive universities across the UK. Queen's is also ranked within the top 250 universities worldwide as of the most recent QS World Rankings. In terms of graduate prospects, Queen's is in the top 40 across the world for graduate prospects, again from one of the recent QS graduate employment rankings. And we also have the lowest student rent across the UK, according to NatWest's recent Student Living Index. Over the last number of years, there's been quite a significant investment within the campus infrastructure at Queen's. We've invested about £700 million over the past 10 years, and this has gone into public facilities for all students, including the Maclay Library, including investments in the Physical Education Centre, and new bespoke buildings for computer science. So within our own school, the School of Arts, English and Languages, we offer 5 programmes in music. A Bachelor of Music, a BA in Music Performance, a BA in Music and Sound Design, a BA in Music and Audio Production, and a BSc in Audio Engineering, which is co-taught with our colleagues in the School of Electrical and Electronic Engineering. So there's a number of unique aspects of the infrastructure of our school that I'd like to show you to begin with. We are based across 2 buildings, the Sonic Arts Research Centre and the Music Building. And within each of these buildings, the centrepiece or the heart of each of those buildings is a performance space. Within the Sonic Arts Research Centre, we have a fabulous performance space, which we call the Sonic Laboratory. And this is a unique performance facility across the world. It's a space specifically for the performance of electronic forms of music. And it includes 48 loudspeakers distributed in different parts of the space, both in front of the audience, behind the audience, above and below the audience, and to the sides of the audience. The purpose of these loudspeakers is to provide a completely immersive listening experience, rather like the developments in cinema in the area of Dolby Atmos, but specifically for music purposes. And then 5 minutes away in the Music Building, just on University Square, we have our music centre, and within the Music Building we have a beautiful acoustic concert hall, the Hearty Room, and all of the acoustic music performances on a concert basis, but also our performance modules are delivered within the Hearty Room. We have a number of quite close relationships with industry partners in the province. Of particular note is our partnership with the Ulster Orchestra. This is a strategic partnership that's been developed over the last number of years, and it enables us to bring in tutors from the orchestra to feed into the performance platform classes that happen on a weekly basis. But we also have close links with a range of other partners, the Lyric Theatre, Moving On Music, one of our fabulous local music promoters, and BBC Northern Ireland, who were integrally involved in the design of our BSc in Audio Engineering. As well as those partnerships with local institutions, we have a number of specific industry professionals who come in to teach on our programmes. One of our industry professionals is Peter Wilson, or Duke Special, as he performs. And Peter is directly involved in the delivery of modules that we offer in songwriting and modules that we offer in contemporary or popular music performance. So in addition to Peter, the Hard Rain Soloist Ensemble work with us as industry professionals, serving effectively as an ensemble in residence. And the Hard Rain Soloist Ensemble feed into a number of activities across our programmes, including workshopping compositions from our composition students, working with our performance students, and also working with our students making audio recordings in commercial studio contexts. So the School of Arts, English and Languages is also an Avid Learning partner. We're one of the academic partners with Avid, and Avid are one of the major software companies in the creative industries. Avid release software called Pro Tools for audio editing and recording, and Media Composer for video editing and recording. And these two software applications, Pro Tools and Media Composer, would arguably be regarded as the industry standard platforms for this kind of work in audio recording and editing and video editing. As well as that, Avid are the parent company for the Sibelius music notation software, which I'm sure many of you have used for music notation purposes. One final unique aspect of our department is that we offer generous performance bursaries to any students who wish to study performance or to take a module in performance who have passed a performance audition. So if students are accepted following their audition onto our performance modules, the bursaries cover the costs of all of the practical performance tuition across the year of the delivery of that performance module. And over the course of 3 years, if students carry on performance across the 3 years of their degree programme, the cost of those performance tuition lessons can mount up considerably. So these bursaries can be worth up to in the region of £2,500 over the course of 3 years. So our BA in Music Performance is one of our recently introduced BA programmes, and it caters for students with performance backgrounds from a range of different performance traditions, including students of classical music, performers of classical music, pop and rock performers, traditional and folk music performers, singer-songwriters, students interested in improvisatory forms of music, students interested in electronic music performance. And as you'd expect, the core focus of the degree is to provide students with extensive performance experience. And we look at performance experience from two perspectives, both solo performance and ensemble performance. And we also look at the development of improvisatory skills, which are relevant to a whole range of different performance traditions. Now, alongside the development of performance practice and gaining that crucial experience of performing on a regular basis, students will be developing their skills to support a career in performance. And these include skills such as writing about music, working in a recording studio alongside recording engineers to capture musical performance, working alongside technologists to look at ways in which musical performance is mediated through technology. And then also collaborating in examples of professional practice, collaborating with sound engineers, collaborating with video artists, collaborating with other musicians in order to stage musical performance in a variety of contexts. So this shows the current structure of our BA in Music Performance programme. Over on the left-hand side, there are a number of white boxes which represent compulsory modules. So, for example, in the first year of the programme, students will study 2 modules in performance, one focusing on solo activities and the second focusing on ensemble activities. They will also take a written module in the Introduction to Music, which looks at the role of music in society over the ages. And they will also take a module introducing students to the practice of composition and how compositional activity can feed into and be directly related to the activity of performing. In each year of any degree at Queen's, there's an expectation that students will take a total of 6 modules. So in addition to those 4 compulsory modules at level 1, students will choose an additional 2 optional modules. And these can be in a range of areas. It could be something to do with film, introduction to film studies. It could be something to do with the studio environment, sound recording and production. It could be something focusing more fully on composition. Or it could be something that focuses more on musical history, At second year, the structure is very similar. We have 4 compulsory modules, 2 of them developing performance practice in the solo and the ensemble context, a third performance module focusing on improvisatory skills, and then a 4th module called Fame, which focuses on writing skills about music, looking at the notions of reception of music. And then at third year, there are the equivalent of 3 compulsory modules. There's a double-weighted module in Performance 3, and there's a module called Professional Practice. And this requires students to collaborate with their peers on the recording, for example, of a short EP of their repertoire, or to collaborate with students to stage a musical performance outside of the Queen's environment, or to collaborate with professionals in other disciplines such as film or broadcast or drama. Now, I would always try to illustrate the activities within our programs by giving examples of some of our student work. And I'd like to play you 2 short examples of students who've recently graduated from Queen's. The first is a quartet of students who formed a quartet in the context of one of our performance modules, and have gone on to receive great success as the Robocobra Quartet, with a number of album releases that have been very favourably received. So this is one of the early recordings from the Robocobra Quartet. Okay, so just to illustrate the contrast of musical performance activity, this second video is, again, another of our recent graduates, Seamus O'Vegel, and he's playing a set of traditional jigs. So graduates of our programs have been very successful in finding employment in a range of areas relating to musical performance. Many of our graduates have established careers as either solo artists or musicians in ensemble contexts. Many of these musicians are working not only within ensembles or as soloists, but also as session musicians in studio recordings. Some are working as music producers. Others are working with ensembles such as orchestras, serving as conductors. A large number are working in the instrumental tuition sector. Some of our students work in the management of other artists, and indeed some work on the promotion of other musical artists. And some specific examples include Marcella Walsh, who's working as a soprano with Scottish Opera, Oisin Macaulay, who's the fiddle player with the American-Irish ensemble Danu, Kit Philippa, who's established a very successful career as a solo artist, Joshua Burnside, another good example of one of the very well-regarded artists based locally, winner of the 2017 NI Music Prize, and has recently released acclaimed albums. Niamh McGowan, who works as a violinist for the Ulster Orchestra, and Scott Flanagan, who's a very successful local jazz pianist. So our entry requirements for the BA Music Performance Programme are ABB at A level, or the equivalent in the Irish Leaving Cert, or indeed BTEC National Diplomas at either Level 3, Level 4 or Level 5. One additional requirement that we ask for with the Music Performance Programme is that all of our applicants audition, and successful passing of the audition is a necessary prerequisite for acceptance onto the programme. So I hope this has given you some sense of our music performance programme at Queen's. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to get in touch. The email address listed on the slide there, askahss@qub.ac.uk. Please fire any queries that you may have through to that address, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. We've also got a Facebook site for our music programmes, and you'd be very welcome to follow us on Facebook, join our growing community of followers. There are regular updates on the site concerning events that we run at Queen's. Many of the concerts we run are free, and you'd be very welcome to come and join us for those. So please join us on Facebook, and if you have any further queries, please don't hesitate to get in touch via the email address above.